Where are you going?
Bathroom.
Who's watching Michael?
He's with his aunt. You alternate with her.
It's good news. You need a babysitter.
Well, folks, we don't need to be concerned anymore because we now know within the canon, the show's canon, Michael is either with his nanny, he's at school, he could be with his therapist / doctor, or he can actually be with his auntie. So in this most recent episode, and I love it because last week, where's Michael? Where is he in the midst of all this stuff where his parents, where his parents are gone from the house, at the hospital, chasing after Andy to save her. Where's Michael? Where's Michael? Where is he? Well, it turns out that sometimes he is with his aunt. So it seems Heather has a sister who lives a stable enough life that visitation is possible. So they have like split, custody in terms of being caretakers for little Michael. And I mentioned this during the live stream as well as my episode review. We don't know the full story. We just had the one statement, but hey, sometimes a throwaway line like this is all you need to tell fans the whereabouts of a character or characters and also acknowledge that they exist. It's kind of like in House of Pain when Demetria was gone for like 4 seasons in a row. And we're like, where's Janine? And then sometimes they say, oh, she's out of town for work or something like that. It's like, yeah, it sucks not to have her on our screens, but at least the people acknowledge, hey, here's where this character is. She still exists. She's just not here. Here's what she's up to. So I feel like the same thing applies. And if I were to use some headcanon, until or unless it has been fully explained in the show, I'm going to look at it under the assumption of maybe at some point, but when did Zach get custody? That was season 7, right? And we're in season 9 now. We've jumped ahead several months, folks, because season 7 wasted no time. I believe during the course of that season, we jumped like 2 or 3 months. Then, of course, we've had 2-week time skips here, a 1-month time skip there. So I'm thinking over time, maybe Heather was able to work something out on the legal side from her end that they could do something of a brief split custody, because and I hope things moved in this direction, because I did a video months ago about how I hope that Heather eventually like cleans her life up so she can have some form of custody as well for the sake of Michael, because I always believe that if Heather opted to do things better in her life, then Zach would not be opposed to having Michael be with his mom sometimes, because looking at the way he grew up, not knowing who his dad is, his mother being gone for most of his life, he wouldn't want Michael to grow up the same way. So being in a environment that is safe, possibly under supervision as well, it might be possible that Heather does have some part of Michael's life. Or the alternative is simply put that, hey, Heather still isn't doing better, but I am, Heather's sister. I do have a stable job, living situation where Michael will be safe, so I can take care of him from time to time. And maybe under supervised visits, Heather comes over. Like I said, we don't know the full details, but at least the show did address Michael's absence, and we know he's still in good hands. Like I said before, sometimes he's with the nanny, other times he's at school, things like that. And, that one time Angela took him out for ice cream. So, folks, Michael's in good hands, and that's all that matters. But sad to say, he might have lost his little sister, but only time will tell as season 9 continues. But with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next video.